So now I will make presentation about Brave New World. Yeah, well, I will tell you about main messages about how this novel has manifested in modern society, and about example about how it connects to the NZS generation and find rate 451, and also how can I apply live successfully in this novel. Yeah. Uh, Firstly, about main message of these novels. Yeah, Brave New World is a warning about society that carry sacrifice individuality, about freedom, emotions, and critical thinking in its strength for stability, comfort, and social order. Yeah, and this novel shows that people can be controlled not only through violence but also through pleasure, entertainment, technology, and social conditioning. So, through this dystopian society, the other raises an important question: that is a perfectly stable and orderly society truly desirable if it comes at the cost of humanity itself? So, how it has manifested itself in modern society over 60 years in and out of Vietnam. Many ideas in Brave New World have greatly appeared in modern society, both in Vietnam and all over the world. And although today's society is not as extreme as the world state, but some similarities can still be observed. In Brave New World, as you know, people use humor to escape pain, stress, and negative emotions. So, in modern society, many people use smartphone or social media, video games, yes, something like that, as the means of distracting themselves from loneliness and anxiety or problems in the real life. But on the other hand, I think that humor can also be compared to modern substances such as drug or nitrous oxide or other stimulants that people use as a way to escape reality and immerse themselves in an illusion, forgetting their present struggles, even if only for a short time. Yeah, and the novel presents a society where people are considered to fit fixed roles. Similarly, modern society often pressure people to follow social expectations about success or education, appearance, and careers. Yeah, and in Brave New World, society encourages endless consumption through the idea that ending is better than mending. Today, consumer culture is also very strong. People are encouraged to constantly buy new phones or new clothes, beauty products, or luxury goods, even when older ones still work well, right? And this can also be seen not only in Vietnam but all over the world, where online shopping and trends on social media increasingly influence spending habits. Also, this novel was about a society that avoids emotional pain. Today, many people avoid sadness and boredom or stresses through entertainment and instant pleasure rather than reflection or meaningful human connection. At the same time, anxiety, depression, and loneliness have become more common, especially among younger generations in both Vietnam and other countries. Overall, Brave New World has manifested itself through growing dependence on technology, consumerism, social pressure, emotional avoidance, and systems that substantially influence human behavior. And the novel remains relevant. The novel remains relevant because it was about what may happen when comfort and stability become more important than freedom, individuality, and genuine human connection. So next I will tell you about example from me and my family members' experience. Yeah, the first one, I have read about many cases in which people turn to drugs as a form of psychological escape. In other words, instead of trying to confront difficulty or comfortable emotions, they choose something that can temporarily have them forget what is bothering them, like the character Lenina and Linda in the Brave New World, right? Yeah, the second one, modernization has gradually made people more open towards sensitive issues such as one-night stands, casual relationship, and hookup culture. And from know, what I have known, yeah, it is becoming increasingly common in many countries nowadays. One example can be seen in the immerse and growth platforms such as Tinder or Bumble and other dating apps. I'm not trying to assume that everyone who uses this app has the same intention, but it is true that some of these platforms are increasingly being associated with casual dating or hookup culture, when where relationship may become more temporary, physically oriented, and less emotionally committed. In the ending of the novel, as we know, when Shun harms himself as a form of purification, the crowd gathers not to help him but to watch him as like a form of entertainment. Similarly, in modern society, some people record accidents or fights or public rights and upload them on the internet instead of immediately helping them. Social media can sometimes transform human suffering into viral contents where attention and entertainment are prioritized over empathy. Mm, yeah, if trauma in this novel can be understood as a stimulant that people in the world state depend on to escape discomfort and negative emotion, when smartphones in modern society can sometimes function in a similar way. We often turn to them not only for entertainment but also to avoid boredom or stress or uncomfortable feelings. And I can even see this in myself. I use smartphone quite frequently. Yeah, and I noticed that whenever I use it while doing other activities like studying or hanging clothes or cooking, I often get pulled into endless scrolling. Yeah, and as a result, my productivity and working speed decrease, while my attention become increasingly fragmented. Yeah, and the last example, yeah, ending is better than meeting. I have witnessed several people who tend to replace their phones whenever a new model is released, especially iPhone. These aren't not only influencers or KOLs that I often see when on TikTok, but also people in real life. For example, one people I know has changed her phone several times whenever a new iPhone generation came out. Although she said that it was basically something like trading in the in the old one for a new one for free, but I still feel that this reflects a broader social phenomenon that is that in repairing or continuing to use something that still works perfectly fine. People prefer upgrading to the newest version due to trends or the fear of missing out. So how this book is connected to N0's generation? Yeah, both the two books work discuss how artificial system can weaken human emotional development, independence, and the other ability to deal with difficulty in life. Other one is a dystopian novel written in 1952, and the other is a modern psychological and social analyst. Both raise similar concerns about what happens when people become overly dependent on systems designed to maximize comfort, convenience, and emotional safety. In Brave New World, yet people in the world state are conditioned from birth to avoid pain, discomfort, and uncertainty. They are taught to reject emotional depth, family bonds, and independent thinking. Whenever they experience sadness and anxiety, loneliness, or emotional discomfort, they simply take a soma, a drug that instantly remove negative feelings and restore emotional stability. As a result, people become emotionally fragile because they never learn how to cope with suffering or difficult emotions. And similar to this, in anxious generation, the other argues that smartphones and social media have gradually replaced important real-world experience for young people, especially up to around 2012 to 2014. According to him, many teenagers today are growing up in a phone-based childhood instead of a play-based childhood. Rather than spending time playing outside, showing conflicts face to face or developing resilience through real life experience, many young people spend increasing amounts of time online. This shift contributes to rising rates of anxiety, depression, loneliness, self-harm, and emotional instability. Also, these two books are similar about emotional avoidance. You can see on the screen about overprotection and reduced resilience and the loss of authentic human connection. But in conclusion, yeah, this two book grants that its self-dependence on artificial system may weaken human emotional strength, reduce independence, and distance people from meaningful real life experience. And also they encourage us to question whether convenience, comfort, and constant stimulation are truly making people happier or whether they are quietly making society more fragile. So how about Fahrenheit 451? Yeah, these two books are broad dystopian novels about social control, but they present two very different methods of controlling people and similar and limiting freedom. They are different about superficial entertainment replacing meaningful human experience, about loss of individual and critical thinking, about how society can become dehumanized. But also these two books insist a society can lose its freedom not only through oppression but also through comfort, distraction, and passive accession. And they remain highly relevant today because they encourage readers to reflect on modern society that are people still thinking critically? Are they becoming too dependent on entertainment and technology? And are meaningful human relationships being replaced by distraction and convenience? Yeah. So all about this. So how can I apply live successfully in brave new world? I think that I can draw lessons through John, Lenina, and Linda and Banner's characters in Brave New World. Drawing lessons from Lenina and Linda is self dependence on someone. I realized that I shouldn't become overly dependent on smartphone in modern society anymore. Although technology is continuously developing and bringing many conveniences, but I believe that the more advanced it's become, the more important it is for me to intentionally create moments away from smartphone and the internet so that my mind can rest, avoid information overload and regains a sense of inner calm in real life. Moreover, I think I need to develop resilient and strong personal values like June's character. Even in a society where many people blindly following trends or social norms without much reflection, I want to maintain my own principles, identity, and dignity rather than being swept away by social pressure like Banner, who gradually lost his sense of self whenever he began receiving social approval and attention. And more importantly, I believe I should learn how to face difficulties, uncomfortable emotions, and suffering instead of constantly trying to escape from them. After all, it is these painful and uncomfortable emotions, in turn with moments of joy and happiness, that make my life genuine and meaningful, while also helping me as well as other people grow as individuals. Yes, that's all, and thank you. Goodbye and see you next Monday.